It is the 9th of January 2025, Thursday, and the European session is about to start. We will have no US session today because the market is closed to honor former President Jimmy Carter. So we will just be trading the EU session. I left this UK 100 trade open overnight. It really didn't do much, just went above the previous day high now, and it's going back into the range, which is at this point pretty good for us, but obviously this trade hasn't really gone how I would have hoped. If you remember, or actually I think I can show you here. So we were short from here yesterday, and then initially the trade was looking really good, but then it reversed at previous day low. And then it's been rallying ever since, but it's showing weakness now. But we'll see. For this to work now, you would kind of want to see a lot of strength to the downside. We're still well within our stop, so I mean the trade is still valid and still possible. But yeah, I have a few planned entries today, and actually one of them is off the first 5-minute bar in the UK 100, and it's actually a long position if the first 5-minute bar is a negative bar. We will see if that's the case, and I'll decide then if I want to take it, because it will be in the opposite direction of my swing trade here. But as this will be a normal intraday trade, it doesn't go against my rule of not adding to a loss or not trading in opposite directions, of course. I still have an order in gold here if we reach this level. I actually moved this order upwards. Looking at the price action, I thought it was more likely that the retrace would happen by looking at the daily chart. I thought that looking at this move, it was more likely that we get 62% retracement, even 72% retracement. So I just put my stop over 79%. And if we get a fill here, then I think this is the place where it's most likely to see a reversal right now. Let me delete this real quick. Okay. I'm also going to be looking at the second 5-minute bar in the DAX. It's worked well yesterday, and it's one of my most tested entries in the past few months. It's been working great. It slowed down a bit in December, but that was to be expected. Now, if the first bar is positive in the UK 100 here, it would actually align with my trade, because it would invalidate my preparation of buying below the first negative bar, first and foremost. And actually, this being such a strong reversal back into the range, I'm actually thinking of adding to this position. But perhaps adding a little more, because I think there's a good chance, especially if this is a positive bar, we retraced my entry point, I would actually be tempted to add to this position. In the DAX, I'm also interested in the second 15-minute bar, but let's see if I take the second 5-minute bar first. Let me just switch this to what it's supposed to be, 5-minute. Sadly, it does look like the first 5-minute bar in the UK 100 is going to be a negative one, which would mean that I need to buy below it. And if that's the case, I'm gonna do it on a more normal sizing for the UK 100, which is going to be an 18-point stop loss. And I'm going to treat it as an intraday trade. I mean, I'm still going to keep this swing open, but we'll likely just play for a retrace up to previous day high. Let's see if I'm just going to do a manual entry here. If we go below, or actually no, not a manual entry. Let's be methodical. If this means I'm missing a fill here, then whatever. And 18 points from here. Okay, so we did just get triggered. And it's going to be 18 points, which is here. So we do have two trades now that's in the same index. One is a short, one is a long. This doesn't really happen that often, but there we go. We do have an initial reaction here. I'm just going to really treat this as a scalp, more or less. And a 1-to-1 is fine. It's fine here for me. I'm just gonna go up to here, like the middle of this big bearish bar, and actually just treat it as a scalp. So this is the live P&L. Yesterday in the US session, I got really lucky with my trades, it has to be said. I went long off the fourth 15-minute bar in the SPX, and this was my take profit, as you can see here. So this is my take profit, and basically it was the perfect take profit because the price reversed exactly at that point. So that's quite rare. And also pretty similar in the DAX. I went long out off the second 15-minute bar, which was my strategy, planned entry, and I just put the stop somewhere around here. I was thinking that the price could actually go higher, but I didn't want to be too greedy. And so this was also just insane. Obviously, luck evens out over time, so there have been plenty of times, and there will be plenty of times where I just miss on a take profit and the price reverses hard, and then I don't make anything. So that's also gonna happen. But yeah, it was nice to see. Okay, so the second 5-minute bar started to form. A break of this bar does mean I'm entering a trade. We are at previous day low, so I'm fairly confident that a bullish close back into Asia range here could mean a continuation upwards. but we'll see. I might just wait for the second 15-minute bar today, because in the DAX what I've noticed right now is that usually the second 5-minute bar entry kind of works, kind of alternates, so it works one day and then it doesn't work the next day. So if that continues, today would be the day that it doesn't work. But still, overall, this entry is profitable right now with my rules of placing the stop right below it and following the breakout or breakdown of the bar. So we're going back into the range of Asia session. Asia session is marked with this blue outline. Okay, let's move back to the live P&L. We are a few seconds off this, the completion of this candle, and I'm not completely convinced here. This is like a 30 something point bar. So it would be like this and like this. Buy above, sell below. What you don't want to see here is price just go above it, fill you in, and then just reverse immediately. Looking at how price action has looked here, it does feel like a reversal pattern, one that I've seen in the DAX a lot of times. So if we do get triggered long, I will be targeting close to the top of Asia's session. And the UK 100 is rallying a bit here. Not gonna do anything with the stop or the take profit. So it's basically a 16-point target. It's well within, or actually no, it's not a 16, it's more than 16, wait. It's 61, so it's an 18-point profit. This is still well within the range of what I expect to make on this trade. Last successful trades using this strategy in the UK 100 returned 20 points, 21 points, 21 points, and 30 points. Yep, and we had take profit, which is nice. I will still let this play out, this swing trade. But it's nice that we started with a win again. Another take profit. Another take profit hit. Live. And I didn't even pause you yet. So I've been rambling for like 12 minutes. And we're probably going to get a fill in the DAX now. Which would mean I delete the short order and move the stop below here in its place. And we got filled. Stop has been moved right in its place, well within our 0.5%, which we want to risk per trade. Sadly, this fill has been a spread fill so far, so price hasn't really gone to this point of entry. So right now I just want to see a close above this candle. So I want to see this 5-minute bar close above these wicks. and preferably, obviously, above this bar here, would completely invalidate this bearish bar. But let's see. The UK 100 is retracing now a bit, which is nice. So again, it feels like I've sniped this TP to perfection. But let's see, we can still go back up here, so. But yeah, it feels like I'm going through a good run this week and to start the year, which is really nice to see. It's not gonna always go like this, so my strategies might look really good right now if you're watching this and you're seeing them hit so many TPs, but just a word of caution, this is how the year started and the account started. So 5 losses in a row, 5 stops hit in a row. So it's not always going to be this, for sure. There is a degree of luck involved as well, and while I'm certain that my strategies excuse me, while I'm certain that my strategies are profitable over time because I've researched them heavily, we still need to be very careful with risk management, and to be aware that we are gonna have losing streaks, of course. So we need to manage things smartly. And we are going above here. The close wasn't what I hoped it would be, but we are going above here. And now I just want to invalidate this candle. And for a target here, I guess something like this would be most appropriate. So again, I'm not really being greedy here. This is more than a reasonable target. I could go up to here. I do think that if we get here, it's very likely that we get almost to this point. But I prefer to be just a bit more conservative with the take profits. And this strategy worked well yesterday, as you saw. I basically sniped the best move for the SPX trade and the DAX trade. Of course, sometimes price will keep going upwards and you will feel like you left a lot of points on the table, but there are times when I will not place a take profit and just let the trade run. But I just need to have the confidence that the market is capable of streaking. And look, this could definitely streak. I mean, look where previous day high is. We've raided the lows. You could make an argument that we're gonna rally throughout the day. And actually, just looking at the price action right now, I mean, we've, let me just make this a bit bigger. We've rejected this low a third time. So first rejection, second rejection, third rejection. This shows strength. So we could easily revisit the tops here. The highs, sorry. So actually, let's be a bit more ambitious and just go here. I'm not gonna go to the absolute top because this entry really isn't meant as a swing trade or something that I'd let run all day, but I will go to pretty much half of the distance to the top. And yeah, let's be ambitious, and we'll see what happens if, you know, if we stumble around here and maybe I decide to close early, but I'll just give it a chance to go higher. So this would be more than a 2-to-1 R&R right now. And yeah, I'll let this run. I'm letting this run as well. So okay, at least price has gone further up. So there's no witchcraft here. I'm not sniping every move to its maximum. And I'll finally pause you here because I've been rambling for 19 minutes. But hopefully you saw my live execution, and hopefully you can see how these strategies can work and how important it is to manage your trades well. So I'll pause you now and I'll let this run, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Less than 1 minute left until the second 15-minute bar completes. This trade is looking quite decent right now. I would say that if we close above this, there's quite a good chance that we visit the top of Asia session and even break out of it. So I'm just going to leave this like that. Actually, what I'm considering now is, because I also had the second 15-minute bar in the DAX on my list for today, this is technically a long as well, if we break above it. So the question now is, am I going to take it? Because the stop would be here. I'm giving away extra profit if it turns against me. So I'm going to be losing more. But looking at how strong this is, I think normally we should add here. It's just that lately, whenever I've added, it just seems like luck has not been on my side, and price reversed with both of my positions, and that set me back. This is what happened actually here. If you see, these are both UK 100 trades, and this was an add-on, I think, when price went in my direction. So yeah, this was the add-on. But then they both reversed, and I moved the stop to the original entry as well. Wow, the UK 100 has made it all back. So now this move down looks like manipulation. So I do think that there's a good chance we get stopped out now of the swing, which is fine. I'll just leave it play, let it play out, of course. Just went above it here. So normally my order would be here, and with a stop below it. I'm just gonna do it. Place the stop here, and I'm not gonna touch the stop to the original entry yet. And for the add-on, I'm just gonna go to the top of Asia session, which is still over a 1-to-1. Yeah, just a bit over 1-to-1 R&R. Okay, so this is the live P&L right now. It's reversing a bit. The middle point of the range is also generally where some sellers step in and apply pressure, trying to bring price back down. I'm gonna let this play out. So I decided to be ambitious and brave here with this trade. Obviously, I could have just let the original. I could have even played it super safe and moved the stop of this initial trade up and minimize risk. But I think that this is quite a strong reversal pattern, and one that has been working well in the DAX in the past few months. So yeah, sorry, I got a phone call and I paused you for a second. So yeah, I decided to be, I wouldn't even call it brave, because I think that when you're sure, or when you think that price is going to do something, and you have confidence and you have the research to back it up, I think it's what you're supposed to do to add to the trade. And especially since this was also on my planned entries for the day. So planned beforehand, based on research, based on experience. So I think not adding here would actually be the wrong move, regardless of what happens, even if this fully reverses. Now, sometimes that will happen. Whenever we enter a trade, we need to be aware of this reality. There is an instance where price completely reverses and we lose both trades. But the reason why I've added to the trade is completely sound, and it's actually wrong not to do it if you believe and if you have evidence that in the long run this move will make more money than it loses. And I believe this to be the case. So yes, I'm adding here. These are the take profits. UK 100 is just breaking out now. This is a very strong move. It faked a fake a fake breakout. Convinced people to go short here, and now it's squeezing. So very likely we get stopped out here, out of the swing. Unfortunate, since this started out quite well for us with a short here, which was almost the top of the move yesterday. This was yesterday's low of the day, and it was the low of 2 days ago as well, so this acted as support. I think the reason why I entered this trade was good, was looking at a retracement here of this move basically. And I entered between the 62 and 72 with a stop at the 79. I think this is more than okay, especially, look at this price action on the daily in the UK 100. So we're clearly in a range here. Now it does look like we're in an attempt to go back to the top of the range. I was hoping we would get another sell and that this bar would hold, but it's looking unlikely now. That being said, we're still in the trade. Still some ways to go to get stopped, so we'll see. What I care a lot more about is the DAX continuing to rally. Gold has double topped here with the Asia session, but I don't really have a planned entry for gold until later, and I'm not gonna record that. So I do have a time where I do expect gold to make a move, and it is 15:45 GMT plus 2. I am probably gonna follow the breakout or breakdown of that bar. It's been working fine lately. This double top here doesn't really inspire much confidence. We are trying to reclaim this trend line here. I might just let price get my entry point here, but we'll see. So I'm not planning a gold trade right now. I don't think that I have enough reason to trust that a sell is coming here. Although we are close to previous day high, and I don't really want to go long either. Although I do think on the short term, intraday, I think I probably favor a long more than a short right now. But yeah, that's just me and my thoughts. So this is going well so far. Hopefully it continues. I will pause you and bring you back when we're closer to a resolution. Update time, it's not looking so great right now with the DAX trade. Sadly, we are getting a reversal here at the very middle of the range. We still wouldn't have hit the original take profit for the original entry, and we're likely going to get stopped out of the add-on here, but that's fine. We've executed our plan, and I'm very happy with myself for entering this trade, where some would have maybe been afraid to keep adding at a worse price than where they entered originally. I think this is the right philosophy and right execution, regardless of what happens, like I've said earlier. So if we get stopped out of this and this, it's perfectly fine. And very close to get stopped out of our swing in the UK 100. It hasn't worked out. That's fine. Probably gonna visit the top of the range now. And yeah, I'll pause you again and bring you back when we're either stopped out or price has moved back in our favor. We'll see. And we've finally gotten stopped out of this swing trade. Yeah, obviously I wasn't gonna close it here if I didn't close it yesterday. This was a nice bait here. Yeah, I was even talking about adding. Good thing I didn't add to my short position here. You could say that, looking at what happened, you could say that I was wrong to target just this level for my take profit in the UK 100 long. But obviously, hindsight is a wonderful thing. This fake breakout pattern looked pretty strong, and I was not at all confident that we would even revisit this. So just going for the conventional and more conservative target is perfectly fine by me. This swing didn't work, and that's that. Hopefully the market stays strong and pulls everything up, including the DAX. We've had a nice reaction here, but obviously we need more. We need to close above this to really continue here. If we go to this again and reverse, I might just close the add-on, because then I would feel like I gave it enough of a chance, and if it rejects this level again, I'm just gonna take risk off and take exposure off and just let my original entry. Yeah, there won't be any other trades. for this session, and there's no US session, as I've said, so I'm going to pause you and observe what happens here and bring you back when I make a decision, or when something happens, or when I get stopped out, or when I get to a TP. But yeah, I'm not going to add any more trades. I think I'm closing the add-on here for a very small loss. I gave it a shot and it hasn't worked out. Obviously you want to see price be much stronger when you enter a position. So generally when this works well, price would have continued like you see in the UK 100, like you see even in the Dow this morning. It's a bit ironic that the DAX seems to be like the weakest of these, even if obviously we have bounced off yesterday's lows. So there's still a good case to be made that we're gonna keep going upwards after a bit of ranging here. But with the US market closed and with this inconsistency here and undecisiveness, I think it's reasonable to just close the add-on there and say, okay, we gave it a shot. It hasn't worked out, and we're gonna minimize risk here. So it's just the original entry now. I still have some orders, the same I had yesterday, days before. Let me just move to the daily time frame for everything so we can see. So I do have a buy order here in the DAX if we move to this level. I have a sell in the Dow. I might have to reanalyze some of these, but I actually think this is still quite valid. And I do have a sell in the Nasdaq as well here. I don't think there's a chance we get here today with the US market closed, but yeah. And the entry in gold, which I explained earlier, the order in gold. So yeah, these are my orders, and I'll let them in place. The UK 100 is marching towards the top of the range. And I'll pause you now, and I'll bring you back when I either get stopped out of this or where I manually close it, because I believe that it's likely not getting to here now. But we'll see. I will give it a shot. There's no point in me keeping you here. I'll just pause you and come back. Perhaps in a few hours when price has either moved up and stumbled and I manually close it, or we get whatever resolution. So thank you for being with me this morning. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll pause you and bring you back when we get close to a resolution here. Time for a little update. Price went back up and rejected again at this level. I've drawn a trend line here for the 15-minute time frame. It's more or less accurate. And I brought the stop loss up to just below the Asia session. I think that if we do close below this trend line, it's going to be a loss anyway, so might as well limit it right here. I was thinking about closing here just because it looked like it didn't have strength to really follow through, but I decided to just let the trade play out. There's still a chance we bounce back up here. So I'll let it play out. And let's see. Okay, I think I allowed it to run. If it doesn't break out now, I think that's enough, considering the US market is closed. Lunch break is over. It's pretty much a now or never type of situation, I think. Okay, there is an attempt here to break out of this range. And not much follow through. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna close it here and call it a morning. Basically 2 wins. This was the swing trade that I had open since yesterday, so still in profit on the day. And if I open any new positions today, or if I get any fills, you will see them tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've managed to learn something from my trading and my execution. This is how I plan out my trades. Everything is researched in advance, and I have a list of entries for each day. And this list is created based on my analysis of the previous days and previous weeks of action. And then I decide on which entries are the higher or the highest probability for the day. So thanks for watching. If you like this video and if you like this type of trading, please like and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.